If you've ever been cautious in an executive meeting, worried about looking stupid or getting it wrong, it is not a performance problem. It's a preparation problem, but not the kind you think. Oftentimes, the best prepared person in the room is the least impressive. In this video, I'm going to show you why your preparation isn't working for you and exactly what to do differently so you walk in as a contributor, not just to survive the meeting. By the end of this video, you will have 3 specific things to do before, during, and after the meeting so that you walk in with confidence, you contribute meaningfully, and you leave a lasting impression. I'm Rusty Gaylord, and this is Do Something Different, a show for business leaders who want to grow their confidence, their career, and their impact. I share my experience from my 15 years at Apple, including as Director of Finance, plus lessons and stories from my years as an executive coach to help you grow your career. I post 2 to 3 new videos each month. If they help you grow your career, click subscribe and don't miss one. Let's get started with a story about one of my clients. Let's call her Sarah. Sarah was leading a big project at her company across all the different divisions. It was high visibility, and her executive sponsor was an SVP. She was getting ready to go give her first update to this SVP, and everyone she talked to said, "Be careful." Sarah, in fact, had a prior exposure to this SVP, and it didn't go well. And as she was preparing for this update, everyone said, "You got to watch out for this person because she's really fast, she's really sharp, she's detailed, she's just no nonsense and right to the point and a little bit on the aggressive side or sometimes mean." Clearly, people were afraid of this leader. And Sarah was going in to give a presentation. So what was she doing? Man, she was in the details. She was making sure all of the questions were answered. She was drilling herself on what are the possible things this person's going to ask me, and do I know all the answers? She was on her 4th version of the deck when we met before her update. I asked her one question that completely changed the direction of her preparation. I'm going to share that question with you in about 2 minutes when I get to this section on the suggestion that you do before the meeting. But before we get that, I want to break down the 2 problems that I see. And this is not just in Sarah. This is very common. There are so many smart, successful, ambitious, really creative, good business leaders that I see that struggle with these 2 problems. Number 1 is when they go into a meeting, all of their preparation is focused on the content. They want to make sure they know every detail. And why is that? Because they expect themselves to be the expert, of course, but they expect themselves to be smart, to have the answers, to look good, and they believe that the content is what makes them look good in a meeting. They're completely neglecting showing up as a good leader and thinking about and preparing for what does a good leader do in a meeting like this. The other problem that I see all the time with this is that the focus is only on this one meeting and getting this one meeting right and doing well in this one meeting, rather than seeing this just one among many, many experiences in your career. And focusing on acing that meeting means you're likely to be less conservative and try new things that would lead to growth and development, which are going to set you up for later in your career. So it's a focus on performance rather than growth. And if you can shift those 2 things, that's why these steps that I'm going to give you work, because they're more focused on showing up as a leader and helping you grow. So let's get into it. Let's get into the first specific thing to do before the meeting. And this is the question that I asked Sarah that completely changed the way she was preparing. And the question was, how would you show up in that meeting if you were twice as confident? If you were twice as confident, what would you do? How would you walk into the meeting? How much eye contact would you make with that SVP? How would you chit-chat before the meeting? How would you present? How would you answer questions? All of these things would shift if you were twice as confident going into that meeting. Now, for Sarah, this was pretty easy to imagine because she was really good at managing meetings with her peers. She would offer a clear, direct opinion of what needed to get done. She would be confident in managing disputes or disagreements. She had clear action items at the end of the meeting. She was really good at managing meetings with peers. And so I asked her, if you were twice as confident with the SVP, which of those behaviors would you bring into the meeting? Now, one of the things that people misunderstand about confidence is that they believe in order to be confident, I have to have prior experience. Now, of course, prior experience helps with confidence, but it's not required. What confidence does is it unlocks a new level of behavior for you. It makes you more at ease, it makes you a little more creative, and it allows you to bring the best of your behaviors and habits forward. If you think about confidence as just an unlock of your behaviors, you can short circuit the whole prior experience thing and just ask yourself, if I were twice as confident, what would I do? And identify some of those behaviors and then bring those into your next meeting. That's step one, what to do before the meeting. But step two is where most people fall down during the meeting. In any meeting, there's always two things going on. There's the content, the business objective, the reason you're having the meeting. You've got to be managing that thing. But there's also growth. There's also development. There's also practicing and learning. And that's what most people forget. They get so focused on this first piece about nailing the content, getting the decision we need, that they don't think about their growth. So the key to step two is to do something different. That's it for step two. So take that, what you prepared in step one, what are those new behaviors, those leadership behaviors you're going to bring into that meeting? Write them on a Post-it note and put that on your computer or on your notebook and bring it into the meeting with you. And make sure you do it. Because what's going to happen is you're going to walk into that meeting, you're going to say, oh, I'm going to go do this new leadership behavior that demonstrates a new level of confidence and leadership. But it makes you nervous and you don't do it. In fact, one of my clients faced this exact situation. He is a super creative, innovative, non-linear thinker. And because of that, he always has interesting ideas and he brings those forward at work. And it's it's his secret sauce, really. It's his superpower. But when he started a new job, he would show up in these executive meetings and he wouldn't do it. Why? Because all the executives were formal and to the point and they weren't creative. They were all just very direct and he wanted to fit in. He said, well, I need to be like them. And so he kind of pulled back that part of himself that was creative and innovative and he just wanted to fit in. The image I have in my mind is all these people in a sport coat and a collared shirt and he just wanted to fit in with that, right? Like straight business and to the point. So it took him a couple of weeks of us talking about it to build up the courage to start experimenting with bringing this other side of him, his real superpower, into the meetings. When he did, it immediately unlocked a new level of opportunity for him. Because all of a sudden, the people in the room saw him as strategic and innovative and a critical thinker, and they wanted him in their meetings and on their projects. So now he'd almost instantaneously built a reputation for himself as a strategic thinker that people wanted him. And that came from the courage to do something different in a meeting. This principle is super clear. You just got to do it. Write it on a Post-it and bring it into the meeting. All right, you got this far, but the third part is what almost nobody does. Most people walk out of a big executive meeting and they say, oh, whew, that's over with. And they go on about their day and they don't think about it again. Step three, what to do after the meeting. But I'm going to give you 3 steps. It's reflect, refine, and repeat. Reflect is to think about not necessarily did you achieve the business objective you wanted. That's a part of the reflection, but it's also did you do something new? How did you show up as a leader? What could you have done more of or less of to be a more effective leader in that moment? You can also ask for feedback in this step, not just do it yourself. But when you ask for feedback, don't go to someone and say, hey, how'd you think that meeting went? That is not a powerful question. You want to ask a powerful question that helps you improve your leadership. So if you were working on being more specific and clear about your recommendation about what the next step should be, ask someone that. Hey, I've been working on being really direct about the next steps. What do you think? Was I clear enough about what the next steps were, or do you think I could have done something differently? Ask a specific question in that reflection part. Do your own reflection, ask for help, but be specific. And then, of course, refine and repeat, this is the normal part of growth. Every athlete has a coach because they want to not just build skill, but they also are building strength and muscle recognition by repeating things over and over again, and the coach helps them refine and stay on track. So consider getting a coach for yourself in this journey. At least have a mentor or a trusted advisor, someone that you can talk to that's going to help you in your journey. Okay, you've got the 3 steps: before, during, and after. Follow them consistently and you will grow as a leader. But here's the kicker, and this might surprise you. It does not matter if you bomb the meeting. Seriously, it does not matter if you bomb the meeting. Think about it from the perspective of your entire career. How important is one individual meeting in the context of your entire career? If you are learning, if you're trying new skills, if you're growing as a leader, that is way more important than the outcome of any particular individual meeting. Growth always trumps performance. Think about it this way. Do you think the Jeff Bezos that started selling books out of his garage 30 years ago could be the CEO of a multi-billion-dollar company managing hundreds of thousands of employees? No, he grew into that. Every failure, every meeting that he did, every new behavior he tried enabled him to grow. That's what these steps give you. They give you growth. Sarah bombed her first meeting with the SVP, but through these 3 steps, through thinking differently and preparing differently, she came out of that meeting successful and built on that success over time and built a strong relationship with this SVP, and arguably stronger than many of her peers and even the people a level above her had. I just gave you a formula to do that exact same thing before, during, and after. Your goal is not to be right. It's not to prove that you're smart and capable. Your goal is to grow as a person and as a leader. And when you follow these 3 steps, you can do it. Thanks for watching, and if this resonated with you, check out this other video on how to speak like a leader. I give you 10 of the most common ways that people undermine themselves as a leader and how to fix that. And if you believe growing as a leader helps you in your career, and these videos help you achieve that, click subscribe. It's free, no cost, and it's going to help you achieve your career goals.